and welcome to Sow Your Own. This one is a slightly different, although it is still gardening. It's kind of more indoor gardening. So I've had this trough of cacti for quite a while, and I have no idea how, but I somehow managed to kill this one, even though these three are all happy. Oh, and this is my little brass monkey to represent the Flo. Oh, hello, my name's Flo, the brass monkey. And one of her many nicknames is Monkey. And obviously these are, so as well as changing this little guy in here that's really quite sad and dead, I've also got some more that I need to pot up just here. So I'm going to put two in these lovely little footed pots just here, and then because I do love a repurpose, I've got a couple of old jars that I'm going to use as well. And now obviously none of these have any drainage holes in the bottom, but what I like to do with my houseplants, and I have had great success doing this I think on the majority of my houseplants, actually, including this this trough of cacti just here, is something that's called a false bottom, and they typically are for, or you'll typically find them in terrariums. So a terrarium is basically like a closed ecosystem with certain type of plants and a special type of soil, and some kind of like carbon mixture in there as well. And they thrive and they go absolutely crazy. And the whole idea of the false bottom, I just use stones out of my driveway. And they seem to work fine. I haven't had any issues. And that can't be why this guy died, because these three are still going really well. Yes, the idea of the false bottom, for when you don't have any drainage holes in the bottom, is that is the drainage. So instead of the moisture just holding up in the soil, it just goes straight through, but then somehow miraculously it still keeps them watered and moist, but without not a lot of people like that word, do they? I'm going to use it loads now. So obviously you want moist soil, but you don't want it to be too moist, because if it is too moist, then they will just drown. I did accidentally nearly drown my indoor begonia. I don't like outdoor begonia, but I've got a gorgeous dotty leaf indoor begonia. I'll have to show you all my houseplants once I'm finished doing this. But yeah, I did nearly drown that one through overwatering it, because I forgot roughly where my false bottom started and ended, and where the compost started and ended, if you like. So yeah, first things first, I need to go and grab a load of stones out my driveway. Stones retrieved, and this basket that I was sent has certainly come in handy for this, although I think I have got quite a bit for what I actually need here. But what I'm going to do, I am going to start by taking this guy out of here and replacing this one like for like. And I will inform you as to where I got these from. Do you know, I think an actual dinner fork will be easier. Hold on. Okay, and now we have a fork. I think I'm set. I'm just gonna take him. Yeah, he's definitely dead. Oh! Now, I think I should probably also put on some slightly thicker gloves for this, because obviously they are cacti and they are known to be a bit prickly now, aren't they? Oh, and these gloves aren't very. I've got these ones that aren't massively thick, but then I've got some other ones that are probably too thick and that you can't feel anything. And this one is wet. Lovely. Now these little cacti that I have here, I'm just going to dig a nice hole. Oh, and look, I think this is what happens when you don't like loosen up the roots around. So it has just pretty much stayed like there's the shape of the pot in there. So I'll have to be a bit daring with this one. But this one's well rooted in. Yeah. And now if Billy was here, he would definitely take the mickey out of this bit, or not take the mickey, but have a certain question. So these were all a quid each. Isn't that a game they play in Harry Potter? Yeah, I know. From one of those beloved pound stores that I have in my nearest town centre. So with this one, I'm just loosening it up a little bit, and hopefully I just don't want to touch it too much. I don't even know how I'm going to manage with those ones. I'm not looking forward to that. And these stones that are on top here, I put them on there for decoration, even though they do look a bit naff, but yeah, they've been there a while now, and just kind of they're just home, I guess. Right, there we go. So that's one done. And I'll this soil in the top here is still quite damp, so I will give it a little water, but I won't go overboard, because I don't want to drown them, because apparently I don't really know if it's a myth that they like to be drier, or that they like to be wetter. I'm really moist, sorry. I'm really not too sure. I'm gonna pop that one down there out of the way. And these teeny tiny little pots that they come in are so handy, for like individual seedlings, you know, and stuff like that. And I've got a fair few of them now. Oh, right. I don't know which ones to do first. I must admit, I think the slightly more spiky ones would be better off going in those ones. Show them off a little bit, I think. So we'll go for, I know, why don't I get my pots a bit full up with my false bottoms? So how I do my false bottoms, and what's really nice about when you put them in glass jars as well, I'll show you one of my spider plants that I've got indoors. It's just in an old gherkin jar. And what's really nice is and because it's obviously in glass, you can see like all the roots through the inside, and you can then see how they were working around the stones. And I guess the only problem with that is when you decide that you want to repot it, or if it needs to be repotted, is you then have to untangle them from all the stones. But I'll let you know, how I get on with that when it comes to it, I guess. So yeah, the idea of the false bottom is to just put a few in the bottom. I might have needed to have disinfected these, like with some water first, but I haven't done thus far, and I seem to have gotten okay. So I'm kind of, going down the route of, if it ain't broken, don't try and fix it. And again, people might be squirming because I'm just using normal multi-purpose compost for my houseplants. But again, I've used multi-purpose compost for most of my houseplants, and the reason why I say most of my houseplants is because I have some that I grow a different way. I really quite like it. Obviously, I will show you. But yeah, I just use straight up multi-purpose compost, and a lot of people like to use special, actual special houseplant compost with extra perlite and stuff like that in it, and everything else. But I've done all right thus far using my trusty old multi-purpose, so I think I'm gonna stick with that for now. Okay, and I'm gonna start off by doing the little jar. So that's literally, I mean, obviously I haven't filled it all the way, because I need some space to put my little cacti in there. But yeah, that's literally the idea. And then eventually you'll see how all the roots intertwine around the stones. Oh, I'm really scared. I'm really scared of getting pricked here. Oh god. And these are quite dry, as well. Like in there, like they're really quite solid. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. But I have bought, but I mean, those ones down there are from the exact same shop, and 3 out of the 4 of them have done all right. So hopefully I will have a good success rate with these guys too. We'll just have to see. Oh god, I don't know if maybe these jars are a little bit too small. Oh, this really is tricky, this one. Okay, I think they're a bit small. Let's maybe put a bit more compost in the top, in there, so we can raise me up. Yeah, I know. I'm not going to give up my day job. Don't worry. I'm perfectly good at making coffees. And you know, I had this seedling tray on here for this purpose, to pot stuff into so I can contain all my compost and everything else. But for this one, I thought, nah, stuff it. I'm just going to waste compost and make a mess everywhere. It's not like I have to clean it up, is it? Right, there we go. I reckon that'll do. And the good news is if this doesn't work, this was only £1, so it didn't. The plant was £1, and the I already had the pot. Well, I say pot, it's a glass jar. It's either I'm fairly certain it's English mustard, an English mustard jar, because Billy likes to eat meat and rice, and his meat in particular that he likes is beef and gammon. So I cake the gammon in I cake the beef in English mustard, and then I make a really nice well, I think it's really nice. I mean, it's literally just English mustard and honey drizzle to then put on his gammon. So we get through a lot of mustard in this house. And as I'm standing here looking over here, I can see lots and lots of peas coming through on my snap peas over there. I mustn't get distracted by those. I need to carry on with these. Right, okay. Now this one's got a little casualty, unfortunately. Oh, it's really quite sad, look. So it's incredibly spiky, and yeah, Mr. Poor Bumblebee's been impaled. Yeah, I don't know, but then I don't want to sound awful or anything, but he kind of was in my house. He shouldn't be in my house. He should be out in my garden. You know, trespassers will be impaled. So I think that I'm going to nickname this monster Vlad. And hopefully most of you know what I'm talking about when I say that I'm going to nickname him Vlad after he's impaled a bee. Right, this one's going in quite nicely because the compost is really quite dry, so he's breaking up in there nicely, which is quite fortunate because I don't want him to impale me either. And there we go. Look, I'm just throwing it all over the potting bench again. Oh, donut, honestly. You'd have thought after that first one when I even said, oh, this is why I use these seedling trays. No. Oh dear, that would just make too much sense, wouldn't it? Right, and there we go. I think he's in there nice, quiet and snug. Quite nice and snug, should I say. Tiny bit more room for some compost there. Oh look, and on the bench. Even though I've got compost all the way up these little cacti as well, that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter too much because I'll soon just water off. Right, that is 2 done. I must admit, I want to get these done really, really quickly because I'm really excited to show you how I do some of my other house plants. Right, so this one isn't too bad. No, leave that in there, Zoe. Don't take it out. What are you doing? Right, and I had again. This one's quite hard, but the compost. But I am just loosening all the roots there. So hopefully they'll go in quite nicely. Oh, listen, Russell. Who's Russell? Oh, ow. He just got me. There we go. I knew there was a reason why I got a dinner fork. And this is one of Billy's forks. I'm a bit special, you see. I have certain forks, that I like to use because I've only got little dainty hands. And we've got some forks that are more like ow! That proper pricked me that time. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I was talking about the size of forks. Yeah, we've got some forks that are almost like, is it a trident that what's his chops from the sea has? Yeah, they're so big. There we go. There's that little guy tucked in there, all nice and happy. And then we've got our last one. Oh, look at the size of the spike on that bad boy. Holy mother. And much like the rest of them, I'm going to give him a little loosey. I'm not going to water these just yet It'll probably be a tomorrow job if I'm honest, because this compost is a little bit moist. There's that word again. And I don't want to drown them, because I mean, don't hold me to it, and if any of you guys know and want to put it down in the comments, it'd be greatly appreciated. But I'm fairly certain that the reason why cacti can go so long without being watered is because they actually hold the moisture within their bodies, within the main plant body, I guess that's what you'd call it. Right, there we go. Boom, done. So I'm now going to take those indoors. These ones aren't for me, these are for Billy. So I'm just going to take them indoors, pop them on his desk, and he can decide where they go later. Okay, I figured I'd start you off in my living room. So I've got these three over here, and this beautiful one in the middle. I'll attach a picture of what it looks like when it's in flower, but I believe it's a type of lily. And this is what Rosie and Keith got us, gave to me when we first, or me and Billy, when we first moved in. This here is a monkey monstera. I'm not too sure why some of the leaves are a little bit brown and crispy, but that's got a false bottom in that weird little thing there. I'll get to this one later because I've got some more like that one. Obviously you just saw me put this guy in here, and then this one here. This is I think it's a Chinese money tree, I believe, which someone who I used to work with gave to us because I don't think they were having much success with it, but I think it's doing all right. This is the dotty begonia that I nearly drowned, and I have a bit of an obsession with brass. So there's again another false bottom in there. But I paid £4 for this instead of 16 in the sale, which I was incredibly happy with. And then over here, this is kind of like a little experiment. This is looking a little bit sad. This was a pineapple plant that one of my friends got me for my birthday. But I think we might have knocked into it and knocked the main pineapple off, so it's just, yeah, it's not really doing much now, but it has got a little baby in here, so I'll get that out at some point. And then this is a little experiment of just propagating, this is actually a alcohol decanter, and there's some spider plants in the bottom there, and then I don't really know what this is, but seems happy-ish. And here we go. This is the main focal point of the flowers or plants in my living room, and apart from this one, and this orchid over here, they were all reduced. I didn't pay full price for any of them. This one was nearly dead when I bought it. This one was nearly dead when I bought it. This little guy was about this size, and again nearly dead when I bought it. And they all seem to be relatively happy. These two were gifts from friends. This one was a gift as a leaving present. And now I'm going to take you into my kitchen because these are my absolute favourite things that I have experimented with. So here we go. These are my absolute favourites. And it started off with one of these mushroom ketchup bottles. In fact, this one's a bit better. And all I literally did is I just put some water in the bottle and then stuck a cutting in, changed the water regularly, and like with this one as well. And I mean, look at those roots on there. And because this window gets so much light, as well, they've just done incredibly well. I don't know how well you can see the roots on that one. No, you can't at all. But they just all seemed such nice bottles, and it really did seem a shame to just get rid of the bottles, and seemed a really quirky way to propagate things. And the one that's in the living room is done exactly, that I said about earlier, is done exactly the same as this one. And then these are my bathroom plants. So again, a couple of cacti. This was £1. Brilliant. And then this one here, this literally was just this can't see it because my fat finger's in the way. That's a lie, they're not fat. But it was just this leaf literally here, and I just stuffed it in some compost to see what would happen. And well, we're now getting a lovely little succulent, But what I really wanted to show you was this spider plant. I had to come outside with the spider plant because the light just wasn't doing it any justice whatsoever. So yeah, this is just in an old gherkin jar with with a false bottom, and this is what I mean by like just how lovely the roots go, where they all just intertwine, and you can see them all. And then if we look underneath as well, and I mean, even though it's got, let's get rid of those, you didn't see those. Oh, look at that, lovely and clean. And even though it's sort of, I don't know if we're struggling or not. I don't think it is, because we have got a little baby coming off here. And we have a little Flo that's popped out to see us. What have you got to say about? Nope, she's not interested in gardening. I will also show you this one. So I think I did this one about 2 weeks ago. And it was just off of the main plant. I don't know, I couldn't tell you what type of plant it is. I should probably have a look it up. But it was really straggly. So I just filled this lovely olive oil bottle up, stuffed it in, stuck it in the window. And we're gonna flower soon. And I've had this plant for about 4 years, I think. Billy bought it for me when we first moved in. And it hasn't flowered at all. And the fact that, we've now got flowers on makes me very happy. Yeah, boy! Well, that is it for today. I hope you've still enjoyed it, even though it's a slightly different type of gardening. And if you've got any hints, tips or tricks or things that you propagate and repot your houseplants into, I always love to hear it. And if you've been just as successful as I have with just randomly stuffing cuttings into bottles with water in it, I'd love to hear it. So please do share. I can't say if I'll be able to produce much more of this content, because I do only live in a little 2-bedroom bungalow, and I can't really fill the inside up with plants like I can the outside. But thank you very much for watching, much appreciated. Please pop past and see me again soon. The next one I will definitely be back in there. Who knows, the next one I might even be in my new greenhouse. I doubt it. But anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all very soon. Later, taters. Oh, and don't forget to like and subscribe.